We are given an expression and we are asked to solve this without the use of a calculator. We need to get the value of this expression or this series because we're adding terms without using a calculator. So at first, I'm going to try to look at this closely and try to see if there's a pattern or there's something that can be helpful. And when I look, I'm noticing something that the term under the first root is always 1 less the term on the second root. For example, if this is 1, this will be 1 plus 1, which give us 2. 2 plus 1 will give us 3. 3 plus 1 will give us 4. Then which means we're going to have 4, which will give us plus 1, which is root 4 plus root 5, and so on up until root 99 plus 1, which give us root 100. I'm sure you can see that pattern. So from that, I can now say, okay, the Tn is basically 1 over, if the first term is n, the second term will be n plus 1, which is true for any term in the pattern, right? Alrighty. And remember, in mathematics, when I see a denominator that is irrational, I have to multiply the top and the bottom by the conjugate so that the denominator is rational. We're always going to rationalize the denominator. So I'm going to have the conjugate of the bottom is square root of n minus square root of n plus 1. All right. Also on top is square root of n minus square root of n plus 1. Right. Remember, the conjugate, you just multiply by the exact same thing but an opposite sign. All right. Now I can see that, okay, this will give me, on top is going to be 1 multiplied by that, which is just that, and then 1 multiplied by negative that, which will be that. So on top, I'm going to have square root of n minus square root of n plus 1. Right. And then we can see at the bottom that we are basically having a difference of 2 squares. We have a difference of 2 squares. So here I'm going to just multiply the first term and the first term. So square root of n times square root of n will be n. Remember this rule. Square root of n times square root of n would be square root of n squared, which is just n. Similarly, I'm going to have minus n plus 1 when I multiply the last terms together. The middle terms are going to cancel each other because this is difference of 2 squares, ladies and gentlemen. This is difference of 2 squares. We can see that the first term is the same as the first term there. The last term is the same as the last term. The only opposite is the sign. So that gives us difference of 2 squares. And then from there, we can further simplify to say, okay, we now have square root of n minus square root of n plus 1 all over n minus 1, which is square root of n minus square root of n plus 1 over negative 1. So division by negative 1 will just basically change the terms on the top. So we're going to have negative square root n plus square root n plus 1, which to me seems nicer to write this way, n plus 1 minus square root of n. So that is our Tn. Alrighty. So ladies and gentlemen, we are going to now represent our Tn differently. Remember, basically this guy here is the first term, is T1. This guy here will be T2, T3. And then this one here we can see is going to be T99, right? Basically T1, T2, T3, we can also get T4 and so on, right? Now, let's do this. T1 is going to be you can see I'm going to put 1 there and 1 there. So T1 is going to be basically square root of 2 minus square root of 1. Plus, that is my T1. Ne? I put 1 there and 1 there. Alright? And then T2 would be square root of 3 plus, minus square root of 2. T3 would be square root of 4 minus square root of 3. T4 would be square root of 5 minus square root of 4. Plus blah 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 plus blah blah plus let's do T97, or let's do T98 actually. T98 would be square root of 99 minus square root of 98. And then T99 would be square root of 100 minus square root of 99. Ready? Oh, here it's 98, sorry, 98, ne? Because here we did T98, ne? T98 is basically going to be, you put 98 there and 98 there. So it's going to be 99 plus 1, which is, 98 plus 1, which is 99. Then here's just going to be 98, okay? Awesome. So now I need us to observe what happens now. Ne? If you check here, this guy, ne, will cancel with that guy, right? This guy will cancel with that guy. This guy will cancel with that guy. And if we continue this way, we are only going to be left with negative square root of 1, which is not cancelled, plus square root of 100, which is not cancelled. Every other thing will be cancelled. Ne? This one will be cancelled by that. This will be cancelled by something here. Alrighty. And then we get negative square root of 1 is 1, plus square root of 100 is 10. Our final answer is 9. Thank you very much. Tango.